welcome to, I'm not going to call it a special one-off. This video is dedicated to a couple of my armor pieces in my vault and all my characters. Despite the fact Destiny 2 is so very close, the beta even closer, the live stream for Destiny 2's, I have to get in the habit of saying Destiny 2 now, Bungie's live stream for Destiny 2 is on Thursday. It's the case of, I'm leaving it there, or I'm deleting it now. Kind of nonsense. I mean, there's no new content coming to Destiny 1, unfortunately, until Destiny 2 hits. For those that didn't know, this was the place right over there Lord Saladin hung out during Year 1 and Year 2 of Destiny for Iron Banner. And for those that were around from day 1 up until, well, the end of September, essentially, it was only around for 2 weeks, and there's only one ever event. This is where Petrovenge, at the time, she was an envoy, basically the ambassador to the Reef, because the lore, if you've read back into the lore, the reason she became ambassador, because she brought down an orbital strike on several Guardians. Yeah, who knew? Petrovenge is a badass. But yes, Queen's Wrath sat right here. There was a great... In fact, the table is actually in the Reef. So what I'm going to do now is behind the work camera trickery, and I'm going to put on some really old armor. And we're going to start off with... and have everything change over. It's Iron Regalia. Back in first Iron Banner gear. Because it's an Iron Banner event on right now. There's Mayhem Clash Iron Banner going on right now. So, what better theme than an Iron Banner themed gear? Obviously, the first cloak we get. I have an Iron Banner weapon on my back. That was pure accident. You know what, let's go to a brighter place. In fact, here is a good spot. Yeah. Here's a nice spot with a nice view. Really nice view, in fact. In fact, I've never, witnessed how picturesque and beautiful Winter Peaks are. But I might change the shader as well. Why not have a Year 1 shader? In fact, that's so reminiscent of Year 1. So very reminiscent of Year 1. I do have some Iron Breed stuff as well. Iron Breed came out with House of Wolves. So the transition between September, when Destiny 1 launched, and May the following year, we were introduced to December's expansion of the Dark Below and Crota's End Raid. This is still Year 1 gear, minus the cloak, essentially. But we can see the boots. The boots are a little different. They have giant shin, knee holder things. It's all very regal, kind of Iron Lordish. Cool little knife on the side there. I'm still going to use this shader. In fact, I've got a knife on my belt as well. In fact, there are so many knives on this, it would make a blade dancer just cry for joy. There's a blade on my hip there. There's a blade on the arm piece there. I do believe Shiro might have the Iron Breed variation of the cloak. There's some armor pieces that I just don't have anymore. Some that I had duplicated, some that had better stats, some that has just lost to time itself. But yeah, the mantle of Pirun, where it just draped well over the back. It was great. But that's probably the reason why I deleted my previous one, is because I could get it from Shiro, which is a nice turn of pace. More than anything. But there was a lot of cloaks very similar to this design. But it had a lot of collars going on. But that's essentially the entire armor from Iron Breed, essentially Year 1.5. Right, Iron Banner in the Taken King era, and suddenly character transforms behind. I think we went full on knife spree with the companion armor. So we've gone from Regalia in Year 1 up until House of Wolves, and then Breed up until the Taken King. And then everything changed. Year 1 basically was left alone. And this was the armor set that came out for the Hunter. And we've got, essentially the arms are the same. The lower arms are the same. Except blade changes from the left on to the right. We've got even more bloody blades on my belt. And the boots are a little different. And of course, the very iconic, this is what you had to wear, Hunter helmet. Hunter hood. Still in Iron Banner, even throughout Year 1 into the Taken King, the thing that made Iron Banner what it was you had to use a shader, an emblem, and a class item. Million, over you come. Does that auto-equip? That auto-equips. Brilliant, look at that. This is obviously million. I don't know if I can change the shader in this menu. You know what? Let's try. If I can change the shader in this menu, it's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. So that's the difference between Gold Spiral and Million. Million was the first of the shaders for Iron Banner that came out. This is Gold Spiral on at the moment. Change that back to Million. Which I preferred for a long time, and then there's some really good items that that Gold Spiral just went with. We have even more knives. Just absolutely insane. We've got some totem motifs on the chest piece there. Which, still, Iron Banner gear is so ornate. So embossed. It's so good. So very, very good. But yes, the iconic Hunter hood. So obviously Taken King arrived, and the April update came. And you're all thinking, ooh, what does that mean? Ooh, actually, which first? Ooh. Well, we'll do this one first. Greatest, funniest thing I can do is going to be a little tease about what's about to happen. There we go. You're thinking, ooh, Taken Armor. Absolutely. Now, the funniest thing about Taken Armor was there was a giant meme that went around every single community that it could. And it essentially was, if you did not have a complete set of Desolate Armor, this is what this is called, this is the Desolate Armor set, your Guardian looked horrible. Huge meme train went around. If you did not have a complete set, boof, that was it. You were taking the piss out of. Just hilarious. It was great that it was an armor. But unfortunately, it was never a shader. And what they should have done was they should have had a shader. But what they did instead was they had the good old Taken Shiver. You had a complete set. You got this. You got the Taken Shiver, which is just so brilliant. Really, it fits so well with an armor set. You got your Sterling Treasure Box, and within it had this armor set and another armor set and a couple of other nice items as well. In that very box was a chroma armor. You know, I was never into it, but I like the concept of it. There was some weapon designs for it. They reimagined some House of Wolf weapons with it. This is a nice the zombie dance from a Halloween event. What we'll do is we'll put on first chroma inspired gear. I don't have, unfortunately, the cloak for it. This, of course, is the Spectre armor set. This, of course, came in the Sterling Treasure Box as well. Rather unique for the fact that you could apply chroma to it and change how it looked. It was a nice little chroma slot here. And at the moment I don't have any active, so what I'll do is move some chroma over. I'm actually going to activate some chroma. I have never activated chroma on any gear until now. It's not that I didn't like it, I just never got around to doing it. So we have 60 yellow chroma. That's what that does for the helmet. Also, you can see, in fact, if I change the shader, there we go. the visor itself is a chroma field itself. So not only are the forehead light and the gas mask, the heads-up display in the visor also is a chroma. So if I can change color, we have blue now. There we are. But I like blue. What we'll do is we'll do it on the other armor pieces as well. Of course, chroma being one of those things, you can change the color of it. It just takes 100 glimmer, and you can cycle through. At the time, we only had blue, red, white. I want to say green, but it could very well have been yellow. But we only had 4 colors, and then later on in the April update, even more colors were there. So some very nice additions to it. Yeah, this is white, blue, there we go. It's a nice blue there. The boots, see, we've got a red. Magenta. Yellow again. The unfortunate thing about RNG, yes, RNG does live in the deactivate chroma button. 3 times with white. I want a blue, thank you. There we go. Ooh. Orange. Let's go with orange. It's a good thing I have so much glimmer to go through. Green, that's an orange. Yeah, there we go, orange. I might have to go back to the tower to see. You can still get this armor set. It's not that it's not available anymore. There is a way still to get it. As well as the Desolate armor, the taken armor I just shown you before. In fact, all the armor pieces, for that matter, the Iron Regalia and the Iron Breed, you can get from Saladin, here in Felwinter's Peak, as well as Dusty. It's either Dusty or Rusty Engrams. So there's some orange chroma. It was a new way for you to express how your character looked. I mean, you can mix and match your chroma. You don't have to go full on with one color. I don't have the Spectre hood on me, but I know that the inside of the hood illuminated, which was a really cool feature of it. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be wearing my exotic Dead Orbit one because I have to represent. Chroma was a new addition to the Taken King that added a little bit more customization. Yeah, so here's Million. You can purchase from Saladin, Golden Spiral, the old Year 1 Iron Banner emblems. God, they just bring back so many memories. And then Dusty Iron Engrams. You can purchase Dusty Iron Engrams for 5 silver dust. And you can get Year 1 Iron Banner gear. So that's how you get Year 1 Iron gear back. So the silver store here, some really good chroma armor out there. There's a lot of chroma armor. There's a lot of Spectre gear. So here you can get all of the engrams from Old Iron Banner. It's a shame you can't view them inside. It's unfortunate it's total RNG, which that was the original colors: red, blue, yellow, and white. An introduction of the April update last year was orange, magenta, and green. But alternatively, you can get the current treasure box, which you can look into. It's not the current Mark of Triumph ones. It's the Armor of Ages, the Snow Angel stuff, which I'm about to show you. You can get the Desolate stuff. This is the hood itself from the Spectre. The inside of it's really a shame that they focused on that. It's like Warlock cloaks. No one wants to just see the chest piece. A Warlock cloak extends to your feet. It's just a shame that you can only see like the top section, but it's a really nice fur outlined hood. But this, of course, no shader affects this. It comes as is. It's just chroma around the inside of the hood that makes it look really, really nice. Right, where were we? We've covered Taken King. We've covered April Update with the chroma set. So what we've currently covered so far is Iron Banner Year 1. It's a shame that I don't have a package available with Queen's Wrath because I could look in that package and see the armor available for it. There's nothing different about the Queen's Wrath, except it has the Queen's Wrath emblem pretty much on every single piece of armor. So yeah, we covered Iron Banner's version of Year 1, Year 1.5, up and, you know, passed out of Year 1. Year 2's Companion. And then Year 3 is the Iron Saga, Iron Saga gear. Which at the moment I don't have a million shader on. Or a gold spiral. That was pre-dawn I had on, so this is golden spiral. And the funny thing about this armor set, not this armor set itself, but very similar to it. The funny thing is, we had a hammer. I don't understand where the hammer came from, but it went very, very knightish with chainmail. A lot of the Iron Saga gear has chainmail for some reason. You know, changing times and whatnot, different art direction. Close-up view of the helmet. Very knightish. The boots. See, chainmail everywhere for some reason. But the funny thing about this armor set, and you know, people are going to go off the chain right now for having not done it beforehand, is the armor sets itself. Chainmail-less for some reason, but from the book itself, Days of Iron gear, you could put an ornament on from doing various tasks, and it totally changes the armor itself. This was brand new in Rise of Iron, was ornaments that changed various aspects of your armor in such ways that it blew everyone's mind. We have same style armor, except instead of chainmail, fur. Nice Iron Lord badge there. And it changed everything about the armor. So like I said, it's similar to the Iron Saga, but instead of chainmail, fur. But the ornament just changed it so dramatically. And you're all like, Rod, why haven't you taken this out of your Days of Iron book? Have you seen my vault? Off. Off, thank you. So that's the helmet. Very, very little difference between the helmets. You put that ornament on and boosh, it just changes entirely. It just this was my favorite thing about last item. Very similar to the other cape. Very, very similar, except when you stick this ornament on, poof, you have a ring of fire around your neck. Changes the back of it entirely. The whole collar section just ignites. It's really, really good effect. Really, really good. Get back 4 gauntlets that we haven't seen. It's like almost identical to the Iron Saga ones. And then absolutely changed. Utterly changed. Great transformative effect. Just made everything on fire. But the Iron Saga gear is what's currently rolling around in Iron Banner. So our next port of call into the winter event. This is for the Hunter, it's called Snow Angel. Titan's Lantern set, and the Warlocks was Crystalline set. Probably the best looking armor I have ever seen. I mean, the Desolate armor itself was pretty stellar, having, you know, a taken version of Guardians. This was mind-blowing to me at the time. I have the actual shader for this. I mean, I can just stick the default shader on. That is the default shader for this armor, which isn't half bad. It's a very nice blue and white. Very, very nice. And of course, all those glowy pieces, that isn't chroma. This isn't chroma armor. It is glowing. Pre-Dawn, that looks so much good in Pre-Dawn. So just brilliant. But once again, it was the case of if you managed through RNG, through these boxes, which I don't have anymore, I cannot for the life of me remember what they were called. And now, of course, you can still get it from Treasure of the Ages. This an RNG Armor of the Ages tribute, as well as the new gear. This, of course, is... I'll go back into the sun a bit. This was Year 3's version of Trials gear. The evolution of Trials gear was... House of Wolves dropped May of Year 1, and the armor itself didn't change into the Taken King. It remained the same. It remained the same aesthetically. Of course, Year 1 gear remained Year 1, so your Trials gear didn't continue on. Taken King hit, the armor aesthetically looked identical to Year 1's armor. So for Year 2, all of Taken King, the armor looked the same, except from it didn't have that third helmet perk, it didn't have double gauntlet reloaders, chest piece was still the chest piece, although it did bring in the armor resistance splash damage recovery nonsense that came in, which to me really doesn't feel as if it adds anything to the armor. But it was infusible. Back in Year 1, of course, it still suffered from this is the max light gear. Taken King, Infusion came along and there was a lot more places where you can get max level armor from. It was great. Brilliant idea. Infusion, oh, such a good thing. That is about it for what armors I currently have available on the Hunter. Those are the complete armor sets that I have. Like I said, I don't have a Spectre cloak, which is unfortunate. There is a new armor set with the Age of Triumph, with the Treasures of the Ages boxes. But yeah, it's a shame that I don't have Queen's Guard armor. Back in Year 1, the only armor available at the time for doing Queen's Wrath event was the helmets and class items, which for the Warlock kind of sucked. Because I don't have any treasure boxes right now, because my luck with RNG is just abysmal. And it's just annoying that it's this section that's guaranteed. It's great being guaranteed. It helps with completing the book. But of course, is the new Triumph gear set, which has that really nice white embossment, which I do believe is chroma. So hopefully I should be able to acquire an entire set of these. Really nice chest piece. Just through the cloak there. There's a reason why I put this holographic cloak on. Like that just stands out. It's really cool. In fact, that has like a hinged door on that eyepiece, like a sniper scope. But yes, that's all the armor sets that I had in mind to show you guys. The old Iron Regalia, Iron Breed, Iron Companion, Iron Saga, Desolate gear, Spectre gear, nice suit of Trials gear that I've had from Year 3 so far, all the ornaments that are available from it as well. Manage to acquire some and go to the lighthouse, you get some Flawless Vigil ornaments. Please activate, thank you. That's what that would do for your helmet. Of course, the cloak you can see there, very Batmanish. Gauntlets totally changed with the holographicness. I don't like it on the gauntlets because I like a big knife, big cat things. I also don't like it on the helmet, to be quite fair. Chest piece as well. Do like the cats, really. This is, you know, people ask me why I don't have full flawless gear. It's because, one, I actually don't have that many flawless ornaments, and two, one, I don't like it rubbing it in people's faces. Two, the boots are alright, but I do actually like how it looks without it. Cloak withstanding. That's how it would look without it. Really nice that they've changed Trials armor for Year 3. It wasn't the same consistency of, you know, House of Wolves onwards. Weird how the evolution of Trials gear, armor and weapons evolved Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for sticking around with my nostalgic event. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for tuning in.